The whole Liam Kumar Day effect, not really happened.
Nigel couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I rang up Mendenhall and he said he could make it.
Don't dig this hole. Phil, credit to the guy, he always manages to do well what he has to. He is a shocking personality. You guys got a trophy? No.
It was pre-Viv.
My life from Rashad Mendenhall.
Right, you guys, I'm a tag jack! I'm a fucking tag!
We are back. It has been a long time since we've last done one of these, and what a way to bring it back in fashion. We have the original trio. It's the LOC Report, back with Commissioner Stubbs, the co-host Chris Leach,
Surely not.
and cool cat Viv Nathwani. Still the cool cat. How's it going, fellas?
Yeah, very well. Glad to be back with the original two other.
I feel so at home.
Yeah, look, we're hugging it out right now.
I'm so sorry for my absence.
Hey, we're all busy people,
Yeah.
so you know, you don't have to be sorry for anything.
Hey, I'm back with no. I've been off for a year. I've got some stuff pent up inside me.
What a lot has happened in the period since we last talked to you. Not only did ADRZ surprise, raise some eyebrows, perhaps
Absolute
with the championship
shocker with
last
that
season,
victory.
which we'll get more to later. We've had a UK exiting the EU.
Yep.
We're having potentially a Donald Trump president. Lots of stuff has happened in the world. And Tom Brady is suspended again, which I'm infuriated.
Which we all enjoy.
Well, there you go. Someone's going to stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goodell.
Cheers, Roger.
Twat. Thanks, Roger. Right, so today we are going to start with the logical show. I think you'll agree. The 2016 review, Extravaganza.
Whoa. Well, it makes it sound great.
Because
it better live up to that villain now.
The 2016 review isn't emphatic enough. So yeah, same as before, you know, we're going to give you a little bit of news, then we're going to get into the meat and bones of the podcast, and then we'll talk to you about next week. So, let's get to it. You haven't heard this for a while. News jingle, here's the news. Quick reminder of the dates. No unofficial flag football game this weekend, however, if you want to do stuff. Unfortunately, my real flag football games got moved to Sunday, so that's postponed. But August 21st, we have our division aligning event and the official flag football game on the same day. Big day. Make sure you're available for that.
Massive day.
Yeah. I think everyone has RSVP'd. Am I wrong?
Apart from Ross.
Oh, I didn't think.
Ross.
Yeah.
Put it out there now, Ross. Just say no. RSVP, no. We know what you're going to do.
The wedding's on Saturday. You don't have to be there for this Sunday. So that's 21st of August, and the biggest event of them all, the event that is circled on everyone's calendar, the LOC Draft, 3rd of September.
Can
I just put out, is this the 9th annual LOC Draft?
8th.
Eighth.
We are entering.
We are
entering our 8th season.
Damn. So, are we talking a little excursion for the 10th? Vegas, am I right?
Absolutely, yeah. There are rumours of a Hall of Fame potentially being on the cards for the 10th season, so...
I don't believe it.
I've booked out Radio City Musical.
I've
done it already, it's gone.
That's why they moved the draft. They knew we had it. So they went, right.
Yeah, I love it.
It's not even that far, is it?
So 3rd of September for that, so make sure you're free for that. We also have a new member in the league for another year, it feels, but we're hoping this time it does actually seem something. We've went about it democratically this time. We've actually had more applications than more vacancies.
Which is nice to see.
Yeah.
All the fans have been ringing up the phone trying to join. They've been tuning in every Wednesday.
They have. They've emailed in. Facebooked in. They've tweeted in.
Our lobbies on every podcast. Contact us have finally paid off. I'm sure we'll hear that again today at some point.
Oh yeah.
So our new member, Ollie Gard, welcome to the league.
Welcome, Ollie.
Obviously, I would say Charles left us, but he technically left us before the season started.
He was never really here.
The auto team left us. And off-season series will be around at some point. I kind of need to pull my finger out and do that, especially before I start work.
Yeah, congrats on the job, by the way, Nate.
That's it.
Hey, he needs the congrats. He just bought a house, but an apartment.
Congrats, homeowner. You got it, man. You're on the property ladder.
Over there.
You're the one under 25 on the property ladder.
I don't think it's a coincidence he's only over there. He knew. LOC Report was coming back.
Has to be a proximity, yeah.
I can walk home after this now.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, off-season series will be the best draft pick of all time. Much similar to last year, there'll be a bracket, and we'll go through the weeks and knock it down to the best. So that's all the news I have. We will be with you in a week or two with the AGM recap, where we'll go over all the changes, and there were quite a few. Not necessarily the biggest changes, but there were quite a few changes.
Did I try and... But via proxy, did I try and go for commissioner? Because I didn't know this until I read it.
Move in.
That's it. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
That's it. I was going for a coup. I didn't even know.
That's the best kind of coup. You're not accountable for it.
That's it. You're the leader now.
Yeah.
And this
Under captain.
Yeah.
Imagine.
And we'll get to it at the time. That proxy proved important because it decided a vote that would have been split otherwise. So your proxy was
Oh, really?
We'll get to that.
Oh, well,
That'll be breaking news to you.
To be fair, I said to Ben, use your initiative and think how I would vote, and he clearly did.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get to the main feature now. As I said, 2016 review Extravaganza. So last season, I think, was probably one of the best. Yeah, one of the closest. Yeah,
I would agree.
We had a really close year, and I think it was 2011, I believe, where we had a lot of teams on the same record. This time round, though, obviously a 12-team league. Once again. For the first year, I think it was 12 teams. So, and it was a very close year. I put out some wonderful stats at the end of the season, how scoring averages were much more similar. We had a lot of teams finish on 8 and 6. 4 teams finished on 8 and 6, in fact. 3 teams finished on 7 and 7. I believe, yep. So very, very close year all around. And the way we're going to do this, we're going to go through each team, take a look at their season, in reverse order of standings, and we will add our own comments along the way. It should be a good show. So we will start off with a James Milner Bowl participant.
Here we go.
Of last season.
It's a bowl to be in, folks.
Yeah.
It is, although to be renamed the Special Brew Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
As is the custom. You lose.
Because it's so crap.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that Carlsberg Special Brew? Is that the reference, by the way? Carlsberg Special Brew?
I think Special Brew is just general shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to go with Carlsberg Special Brew because that is shit. So.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, we'll go with that.
I don't really know about it.
I did a whole exam on Carlsberg and I can tell you it's terrible.
Okay.
So Pakistan was the unfortunate team to lose
I can't laugh.
the James Milner Bowl. Yes, we know you've been there as well. You know what it feels like.
Give it a laugh.
I gave
1 year
last year.
removed from it.
Didn't go last this year. Yeah.
Yep. So obviously Pakistan's first year of solo action. Obviously he was the unofficial head coach of Jeff Seals the year before.
Yeah.
In official capacity, he was the co-coach. This season, first full season charge. I think there were a lot of positives in his season.
Yeah.
He got slated by one particular member of the league for his draft. I think we all
know who's chatting shit after draft.
Yeah. He made some really good ads through the season, but ultimately, I think the inexperience showed with his team.
Yeah.
So looking down his team, he had players like Matt Ryan, who he had a bit of a down year. Javorius Allen, I think he was a pickup. Randall Cobb, he disappointed. T.Y. Hilton disappointed.
No luck.
Eric Decker was a good one. I think Eric Decker was one of his bright spots. Andy Dalton as well. I believe he picked him up off waivers. That was one of a real bright spot. Marshall Lynch, which was obviously an unfortunate case.
Shame.
Some other players as well. On the whole, though, I like I said, I think a bad season for Pakistan. But in terms of relativity, for him, I think it was an alright season.
Yeah, he did get quite unlucky with injuries coming and going. Even when they didn't directly affect, the luck injury, of course, affects TY. But it's a bit disappointing, really, from Pat. I thought he could have a good breakaway. I think Charlie was holding him back. So I was expecting big things, but... maybe better luck next year.
Yeah, it's a building year. I think when you do it for the first time, you've got to kind of get that out of your system.
Yeah.
You've got to get a season underneath you, learn a few things, come back the next draft, and you get it right. Or you get some of what you got.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right thing. But I thought that he was a good participant in the league.
Definitely.
He was committed.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that he came stone dead last in the league itself, which is okay because it does happen. Injuries to key players and non-performance generally pulled him down, especially in key positions. You look at QB, 2 receivers, and a star running back not doing. That's the skeleton of your team.
Yeah.
And you've not really able to come
Big
back
Ben
from that.
went down as well, I think.
That didn't help.
Wasn't it? Lots of positives, but ultimately a negative season. But hey, I think he won the League Commissioners Award, which is a sportsmanship award, and effort and dedication. So
absolutely,
definitely showed that.
Really did, and I thought that some of his waiver wire picks were inspired on certain weeks, and he beat me on certain weeks because of picks. So fair enough.
Our next team then, Forge Flyers. So Forge Flyers obviously coming off a dismal 2014.
It was dismal.
They did lose the only 2 week, previously only 2 week, we'll get to that later, 2 week, week 15 and 16 game. They lost the James Milner Bowl, finished bottom of the league. Last season, they had a lot of positives again. They did improve on last season, in which some may say it was not difficult. But again, a lot of misfortune, I think we'll agree.
Yes.
The final record was 3-11, so was that one better than the season before?
One better season before, one
But there was
win.
a lot of bad luck here. But we look down this. I mean, he had Devontae Freeman, which we all know he was absolutely gangbusters for a lot of time. Calvin Johnson had a good season, down season by his standards, but hey, 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. You're not going to say no to that. John Brown had a good season too. Ryan Tannehill on the bench, he was okay. Behind that, not a lot there. I know you were impacted by injuries as well.
Yeah, that's right. CJ Anderson never really performed all year, which was a bit of a shame.
Your MVP once again was your kicker, though. Not Dan Bailey, but Brandon McManus.
Absolutely inspired.
Brandon McManus
How does Chris know what to pick kicker-wise?
Kickers are it. If only my QB selection was better.
Right.
That's what let me down last season was QB wasn't particularly competitive all year. In and out of the team. Tannehill never really picked up. Promised from early part of the season. Supposed to be a real big year for him, but never really showed. So I think that if there's one thing to take from this season, it is that you really need a decent QB to perform.
It does help, especially in a 6-point touchdown league.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Could this be a hint on Chris Leach's draft strategy?
Well, there is this.
Start your mock drafts, guys.
That's it. Who's going to take a QB in the first round? That's what you're going to do.
I hear Manziel's still kicking about.
Is he?
Well, on the crack house circuit, not on the NFL circuit.
That's it. You never know. That's it. To be fair, he could do better than Ryan Tannehill last year.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
He played like he was on crack last year. Don't come to me, lawyers. Don't come to me. But yes, I think that's one thing. But also, can I just put out there, if we have a look at the stats from last season, I would think that...
Oh, yeah, we do remember the points against.
The points against.
1,562
points, right? That is the highest by a distance. ADRZ, on the other hand, had 1,218 points.
That is very fortunate.
Can I just say that is unfortunate?
That is very unfortunate.
I mean, your points forward were higher. I'm looking here. I can see at least 3 or 4 teams your points forward was higher than. But no one. Yeah, you're correct. No one's higher than you with points.
Exactly. So could everyone next season just please stop scoring points against me? That would be great.
Fantasy gets pretty easy when no one scores.
Everyone's players don't turn up on the weeks that they're playing me. Just like save them. If people go on 4 touchdown runs, and you think, mate, what's it got? What they got against?
Out of nowhere as well.
What they got against the Flyers, man?
Your fortunes have to change soon. I have to believe
they do.
Otherwise, you'll fall into Jeff Fisher territory.
There's an actual zone for him. That mediocrity,
but somehow still keeping his job. As we discovered in Tennessee for however many years. Right.
Yeah. No more.
Yeah, no more.
There's a new dawn.
Yeah, Mike Malarkey, lucky you.
Dawn in Tennessee. You wait. No.
Exotic Smash Mouth offense. That's what he's called it. Just by the way, Exotic Smash Mouth. I'm not making this up. Our next team here, the Homosexuals. So they've ended up finishing in 10th after the postseason brackets, but their season was not that bad. And obviously, this was one of our biggest storylines last year. He unretired. Last time he played in the league was 2010. Unretired for the 2015 season, still with us. And again, not the best of the years, 6 and 8. I think he had a positive year. Looking down, he came very unprepared to draft day, as we will remember.
I did give him a very helpful assist.
Yeah, everyone turned up with laptops and everything. He was there without even a pen to his name. Thinking,
who needs a pen?
Yeah, but he got some good players. Matt Forte, not his best year, but he still had a decent season. Larry Fitzgerald had a renaissance season. Brandon Cooks was pretty good along the way. Sammy Watkins was pretty decent too. And he had Odell Beckham as well. But I think the thing that dogged him most, perhaps, was questionable choices on game day sometimes. And knocking off the rust, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. I think so. And again, like we said with Pat, it's a case of coming back to the league. When you've been out for 6 seasons, that's a long time. That's a long time. And I say players are different, dynamics different. Dominant teams who were dominant once upon a time, they aren't dominant anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, he sometimes forgot to change his lineup.
That didn't help.
Which did not help.
With injured players, let's not remember. I seem to remember a few weeks ago, was it Tony Romo or someone, Carlos Hyde was in the lineup.
It wasn't against me.
Chris had a blinder for a week.
Best week ever. James Jones turned up that week against me. What on earth? That's it. The luck. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not bitter. That's the basics. I mean, maybe a bit more participation on the waiver wire, maybe a little bit more research.
Yeah,
I think Ross will do really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Much like Pat, I think it's just a case of experience coming back into the league. So, our next team, who will be our next team while the page loads? It will be the Tug Farts, who we've been predicting it for years. We have been predicting it for years. It finally happened. The start line, he had a bad season and missed the playoffs, and everyone rejoiced. So the Tug Farts, worst season in history. You hear that? Worst season in history, Phil. 6 and 8. Lost. Not only. This is my favourite part. We'll all remember last season. It was week 10, I believe. He claimed he was going to make the playoffs. He was going to win out and then win the league. And he went on to lose every game from then on.
I see that bold claims don't work.
Lose every game. And it was a very up-down season for Phil. Once again, he lucked out in some respects, but I will give him some credit.
Gary Barnage lucked out.
Yeah. So that's one of many. So Tyrod Taylor at QB, he was solid. Fair play to him. Adrian Peterson, of course, that was a great pick. Credit is where credit's due. He had a great year. Adam Robinson as well. He was an
big time.
Absolute tech. 14 touchdowns and 1,400 yards.
That's massive.
What a season. And as you say, Gary Barnage, another one of Phil's classic ads paying off. And Doug Baldwin as well. He had 14 touchdowns.
Where did he come from? From nowhere.
But also a lot of negatives, I think, was everyone else. He did not lose Jamal Charles. He chose to add Jamal Charles after he was injured. That was interesting. Travis Benjamin, another one of those skeptical ads that seemed to pay off, but it just didn't happen last year.
The thing about Phil this year, he normally gets his selection on point every time. But I do remember some Doug Baldwin big games was left on the bench. He scored 3 touchdowns on the week. Phil would say, nah. Surely not again this week. Back at it again.
We learned at Monopoly yesterday how you should just, if something goes your way, just go with it. Don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Why is he put? See, look, and it's a Phil Merritt classic as well. I'm just saying.
Two defenses. The thing about it, I'm actually on the 2 defense bandwagon now. With 12 teams.
Okay.
There's a little maneuver to be had actually, because you can really pick up matchups with that. I see what Phil. He's an innovator, but. I don't like to tell him.
That's one word for it.
I think that I think the Tuck Farts this season, and especially Phil, they're a bit like Chelsea in the Premier League last year. Unprecedented success. They're almost the champions a few times. but then drops off.
The
players just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
that's why.
they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. And yeah, you're right. But I think that sometimes that it's good to have a season like that just to cool off.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although knowing Phil, it won't be humbling.
Yeah.
You're going to win it next year.
Yeah, probably win
This year.
Still
But
searching
I
for
enjoyed the
title.
Banfield. There's got to be a villain of the LOC, and
Absolutely.
he's the role right now.
I mean, like I drilled into him a bit. Obviously, saying it's his down year. It was a terrible year. 6 and 8
it's still very
in
solid,
terms
yeah.
of down years in the OC is a pretty good year.
I like that.
Pretty average year. I'm still hoping.
I
I
really would.
think we've
Yeah.
skipped the team.
It's coming, Chris. Don't worry about
So
I'd like an even year, Viv.
it. Yeah.
Give me a 7
This could
7.
be
I'll
the
take that now.
This could be you got go-karting, you got first pick.
That's it. What am I going to do with all that
Oh
responsibility?
no, you nearly won commission.
Surely not. Really okay, right.
wouldn't that have been fun?
Yeah.
So our next team here, Gridiron Gang. I believe they finished in 8th. Looking at my
It's your team.
thing, yeah. I should know this, really, shouldn't I? Yeah, I finished in 8th. So Gridiron Gang, on the whole, I mean, once again they had a pretty good season, and like the year before, just came up a yard short right at the end, and they actually broke their week 1 dart classes, and they finally won a week 1 game for the first time in 7 seasons, which is unbelievable. I mean, you know, this team's strategy throughout the year was Brady or bust. It had its own hashtag and everything, and it worked for them. They got them to 8 and 6. Very unfortunate to finish 8 and 6 and miss out on the playoffs. But yeah, as I said, you know, Tom Brady, hell, he had a heck of a season. You knew he would, coming off of the whole Deflategate saga, which is still ongoing. Lamar Miller, he put his faith back in him for another season, and it paid off this time around. Eddie Lacy, though, was a disappointing one. Picked high. He was fat, so he didn't really do much.
He was very tough.
Too many cheeseburgers. Deshaun Jackson got injured, missed half the season as well. Nuke Hopkins, though, DeAndre Hopkins, really one of the bright spots, one of the best receivers in the league last year. Jordan Reed as well, a revelation off the waiver wire, as Gridiron Gang has done in times past. But, you know, behind that, it was usually very savvy plays that picked up Gridiron Gang. You know, Thomas Rawls, Sean Drawn, Michael Floyd, Spencer Ware were all players that made spot starts and won games for Gridiron Gang. So it was really that lifted them up last year. On the whole, a positive season, but disappointing way to finish.
There you go. Well, that's it. I think that's probably
Summed
quite well
it up
summarised
well,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was well prepared.
Well prepared, yeah, he's ready for this.
I've got nothing else to really
Yeah.
contribute to that. Because
Did I take all the points?
Yeah.
That's okay. I think you're right. And say it's all very straightforward there. It's a couple of key players who didn't really turn up at certain points of the season. I think Deshaun Jackson's a really good player, but again, when you score 74 points across the course of the season, and you can't replace him, then it's difficult. Especially when you consider that a decent receiver will score somewhere like 150 points all year. No. So you're losing half the points already, and by those extra 74 points across the course of the season, who knows? You know, those games where there's 5-10 points in it. That's where it's at.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll mosey on to our next team then, because we did that pretty succinctly and nicely. So our next team is Tom's Tyrants. Tom's Tyrants, obviously, coming off of the Dubler victory, their second victory in 2014. First team to ever do that. You know, looking to cement themselves as one of the best teams in the league. Once again, as if we already didn't know that. Didn't quite happen. 7-7 in the end. It was another mixed bag of a season. I don't know what the breakdown is. I'll have a look at that.
They came up late. They were behind the rain.
I think it was another season where they were
like
struggling.
4 or 5.
Yes, that was it. It would have actually, yes, because they were 1-7 at one point, I believe. And 2-7 they came back from, and obviously won 1 year. I think they were 1-7, came storming back, couldn't quite make it. They had Ben Roethlisberger, but obviously we talked about his injury troubles, and that was a good trade there. Des Bryant, another injury trouble player. Julio Jones, though, really good pick.
Brilliant.
Loyalty there, we all know how loyal he was. Jarvis Landry was pretty good as well last season, despite Tannehill's struggles. Jeremy Langford, a good ad as well. Tyler Eifert was really good as well. But yeah, I mean, as we said, you know, it was very much too little, too late.
Yeah, very much so. Solid, if not spectacular. You know, you can see just from the points breakdowns where the points came from. You know, it's good to have a receiver that scores 239 points across the course of the season. That's excellent.
You won't turn it down.
No, that's it. Two running backs that every week was scoring.
Chris Ivory and Doug Martin, I skipped over
Yeah.
that. Apologies,
Yeah.
they were two very good picks.
And he got them very late in the draft as well. So
Yeah, that's right. A decent
Quite
value on
fortunate.
those.
Mid-round, yep.
And again, I think when you talk about spot plays last year, I think that Tom Starrett did that well as well. Especially when you've got a
Willie
high
Sneed
waiver.
and,
Well,
Willie
yeah.
Sneed and
Yeah.
Jeremy Langford. No one had on their boards,
yeah.
but they were two valuable assets. for
Yeah.
Tom Starrett.
absolutely.
He worked his high waiver priority really well the last couple of seasons. Didn't quite pan out this time, but he's very nifty picking up the big names on the waiver wire.
Precisely.
Yeah. So, but we'll always expect Tom Starrett to be in it, and they'll probably be back next
Sees
season.
value.
Yeah.
that no one sees.
So the name on my screen here is not the name of the team we'll be
Yeah.
examining because this is our new team.
Could it be a name change? Not seen that often since the random name changes of Nigel a few years ago.
Yes,
It's like St. Louis to LA.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about them in terms of Jeff Seals because we all know that's what it was.
Yeah.
Jeff Seals, we won't dwell too much on this, but we will actually spend a bit of time talking about it because it's quite funny how this team was completely auto-managed.
Yeah.
So basically, not 1 week, I don't think, Charles managed this team. So
Yeah.
what I was doing as commissioner was picking the highest projected players on each week and playing that, regardless of what else it said.
I'm gonna do that next year.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's on to 7-7. We've been laughing at the projections all this
Yeah.
time, and they get to 7-7. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't the best of seasons, and they had no depth largely because they
Yeah.
were very restricted in adding players. But if this team had a manager, they could have. Who knows
Yeah.
where they could have gone. But a fairly decent season 7-7.
Yeah.
I believe they actually finished 5th overall after the brackets. Aaron Rodgers, David Johnson, two very good players. Amari
Yeah.
Cooper. I mean, those three right there are largely the reason they were where they were. They also had Tavon Austin, who had a decent year, Julian Edelman. And Le'Veon Bell, unfortunately, went down for them. But yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, this just shows that it's more of a luck game than a skill game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Auto draft picks a good team, like Alex's team, record-breaking team, perhaps.
no, they won the title.
That
Yeah.
touchdown syndrome winning season. Auto draft can't hurt.
No.
And then projections, if they're done by experts.
That's it. It just
Reasonable.
shows that you can ride three players. That's it.
Yeah.
You can, as long as you've got three players who are in good form, especially someone like Aaron Rodgers, who always get consistent scoring. But yeah, projections, as you say, they're done by experts, and you can see why.
They're done by Madden simulations.
Oh,
That's okay.
yeah.
That's all right. That's
Expert programmers.
That's
then.
it, yeah. But yeah, it's amazing how an auto draft team can get that high. But again, not a lot can be said about it because there wasn't any skill involved.
Yeah, and I would say this is probably the anomaly of the auto-managed. So many times we've seen teams completely struggle without drafting their own team.
Yeah.
And
So if that team got in, if any one of those players got injured, those players that they were riding,
yeah,
Rodgers, Cooper.
I mean, Le'Veon Bell went down
Johnson.
and they got David Johnson. If that hadn't happened,
Precisely.
completely game over. And we were writing them off completely down the stretch as well. So our next team here, the Dream Team.
Oh,
Resident Cool Cat right here.
Yeah.
So another good season, 8-6.
Solid.
Obviously, 2014 you made the final but lost the heartbreaker.
What can you do? What can you do?
I don't believe you made the final last year. I can't remember.
No,
We're gonna have to check this.
I was out. No, I lost in the semis, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
tough break, man.
Happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but hey, another really positive season. I think were you one of the highest scoring teams? I can't remember last season.
Yeah.
We can take a look right now.
I guess if
Just
you're
asking.
8-6 as well, then.
Has to be.
14-40. So pretty good score, not the highest, but a
Yeah.
pretty good score. Had some decent players too.
yeah.
Carson Palmer, who I believe was undrafted, was a really good
Yeah.
QB
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray had a decent year. Latavius Bryant, when he wasn't smoking weed, was doing well. Greg Olsen had another great season. Obviously, had Drew Brees as well, who
Yeah.
a bit spotty, but
Yeah.
when used well, he put up points.
I mean, I had DeAngelo at the start as well. Like,
Yeah.
of this, the final roster is not
and LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
Michael Crabtree as well.
solid,
So,
yeah.
a good
Yeah,
team.
very, very solid. I raced off to a strong start, and I was struggling a bit for depth come waiver wire time. But I'll take it. I kind of had to limp to the finish because I didn't really have the depth. But I think that is sometimes, when I think about it, it's better to start a little weaker than end a little weaker, because then you still have the waiver wire to pick up on. I think that's why Tom really powers home a lot of years.
Yeah.
Because he's strong with waiver wire pick. When you've got 12 priority, there's not a lot of heat left over.
Obviously, you had 2 extra teams before you this time round, so it's even more
Right, yeah.
That's right.
But no, I take it. I think I've honed in my strategy. It's worked the last few years. So I've got a little plan come draft day once again.
That's it. It's got it now.
Yeah.
Quality.
Right, so our next team then, I believe, is Bare Necessities. I'll wait for the screen to load.
Kings of the waiver
It
wire.
is Bare Necessities.
Every year.
Yeah.
Every
Experts at losing the first few games, picking up players, and then doing very well. Another really good season. Obviously, they had those dark years between 2011, and about 2014, I'd say. But they were firmly back last year, made the playoffs again, and hey, they had a really good season. Kirk Cousins was a really good quarterback. Chikandrick West, great waiver ad in the wake of the Jamal Charles injury. Carlos Williams had his weeks. Emmanuel Sanders had a really good season as well. People weren't kind of expecting that, especially with the struggles of Peyton Manning. Brandon Marshall had an absolute stormer of a season, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. Rob Gronkowski,
as you expect.
enough said. Andrew Luck, he had a disappointing year, which hurt. But, on the whole, good season. And as you say, king of the waiver wire, and it clearly showed.
Yeah, absolutely. That's every season you see that. And I think that's probably where the value is. When you have a pretty in-depth knowledge of the league, you can go and call on that. And you can see the value. Some of the guys that were there. I mean, Jonathan Stewart on the bench, for example. That's another one that went down early. And
you had Dion Lewis as well.
Which is
Something.
great.
Absolutely. So plug and play players again, another big way of doing it. And you can see there that there weren't that many players that you'd ride. There's across the
Very
board.
spread.
Exactly across the board. There's points from everywhere. And I think that's a sign of a good team.
Very true. Yeah.
Not when you're, as we'll see in a minute with Iknan, when there's a few players that spike and there ain't there's a few players that don't. Here, where you've got a decent spread across it all. I think that's where you see the knowledge come in.
I guess there's 2 schools of thought: the Brady of us 3-player going to glory, or the spread out and I guess both are successful. Both are successful.
I mean, I was going for the spread and it ended up.
I think we all go for the spread, and then if it's a 3, we take it.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about one of our finalist teams now. Iknan making their first Corona Bowl in their history.
I would say this is the biggest shock since I've been in the league.
Talk about straddling and riding.
Every year we
out
see
of
him
nowhere
just put the
paying
bare minimum,
Counter-Strike.
bare minimum amount of effort in not only the draft but the season. This year he comes up with spreadsheets galore,
color-coded
formulas all over the place. I'm sure there was some regression in there.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
And he had arguably his best season yet. I mean, only 8-6 in the regular season, so that wasn't terrific. But like every team, he seemed to struggle with poor playing injuries. As you alluded to earlier, there were a few key players. Cam Newton, the best quarterback in fantasy, I believe, last year. A large part of what they did. Running back really was the weak point of this team, and that's because of the bold strategy of taking 3 receivers at the top: Demaryius Thomas, Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown. Mike Evans was disappointing, but the other 2 were pretty damn good. Tight end as well was a disappointing bit. And on the bench, not a lot there either. Like you said, much riding 3 players.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's say when you can afford to ride Cam like you did, or like he did, then when you've got a 459-point quarterback in fantasy, that's double.
Right.
Double some guys in this league. So that's almost having another. Well, actually, it's almost having like another 2 running backs. And that's where the value is. You can afford to play Bernard and Sproles, as patchy as they are, because you've got a quarterback who's unbelievable. Who's scoring touchdown after touchdown each week. I mean, on average, what's that going to be? It's going to be just like about 2 touchdowns a week, isn't it?
Well, he scored 45 in a year, so I mean, it's nearly 3.
Nearly 3. There you go. Damn. So it's an unbelievable return. So you're already 18 points a week, and that's not including yardage.
Credit where credit's due as well. Taking 3 wide receivers in the first 3 picks. Never been seen before.
Taking Arian Foster as well. Down, coming off, was it an injury? Groin injury on IR.
Right.
Not IR, sorry. Missed the first few weeks of the season. Unfortunately, he also went down injured, but when he was there, he was good.
Antonio Brown was excellent as well.
Leading receiver in football, as per.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And the supporting cast, Thomas and Evans, they might not have performed as they should have done, or maybe it's the peak we've seen, but they did enough.
Solid, yeah.
But not quite enough.
Not quite enough.
Quite enough compared to the team right in front of us who crowned for the first time a new champion, Andy Dalton Red Zone, their first time in the Corona Bowl and their first win, Corona Bowl 7 to their name. And I mean, we kind of called it from early on. This team was always kind of head and shoulders above the rest, I think it's fair to say. 11-3 in the regular season, which is one of the best, certainly the best last year, one of the best records. We don't often get teams go north of 10. And it's easy to see why. I mean, a player like Blake Bortles, who, again, no one expected, was putting up points like anyone's business in the second half of the season. Frank Gore had an all right season. Todd Gurley, when he came back from injury, he was great. Alan Hearns, who saw that coming, a great waiver ad, I think that was. 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Delaney Walker, a very good under-the-radar tight end. He got a lot of points. He also had Eli Manning. Ronnie Hillman had his days. AJ Green as well, let's not forget, one of his favourite players.
Absolutely.
Just a great season with a very strong team.
Absolutely. Very strong team and a very strong spread. That's what I'm big on that in this.
Yeah.
That's it. Big spread.
Yeah.
Every single player in the top, in the starting roster, has 3 figures.
You love to see it.
I love to see that. That's good, and that's why.
And this is
Consistency
the continuity. I mean, you look down here. Like you say, not all of these players were drafted, but a lot of these players were on the team for a long time. I think they had Bortles for a while. They had Gore from draft day, Gurley from draft day. Hearns was a very early season ad. Lockett, I think he may have been fairly new, but he was only a kind of a sports starter. Delaney Walker, I'm pretty sure they drafted.
That's only when Green started faltering at the end of the season.
Yeah,
consistency is key, and in key positions, the consistency's there. As you say, all these players were there from pretty much the first 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's a real good, decent formula because you know what to expect. Every week there was, it was a points machine. However, I will put out there that they did have the points against is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Only 1,200 points
no
scored
one
against.
was less than 1,300.
Yeah.
He had 1,218.
It does help.
Yeah, he needed a little bit of luck. He was reasonably lucky with injuries. I mean, we all get injuries, but perhaps slightly less than average. And that points to get.
Yeah.
That's what he needed for a great 11-win season. And I think it will be like that coming forward now. I don't think you're going to get to double-digit wins unless you get lucky on points against now. So
though I might be slagging off a little bit because he did score the second highest in the league by Ben Sessions in terms of points scored. So as much as the points against was lucky, the points for wasn't at all.
Right.
But even so, it does help when you've got, like, for example, my team's almost 350 points worse off than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Over the course of a 12-week period or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
But hey, congratulations to
big congrats.
He's given the trophy a little refit.
I've
seen a bit of it. I haven't seen it clearly.
Oh, really?
So I can't wait.
Are we going to see a picture of Nigel on said trophy?
I've been asking for
a bust of Nigel. That's a new trophy.
No, not like the Dre.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the 2016 review extravaganza. I hope
that was extravagant.
Yeah, I'm glad it lived up to its billing. As I said, I think we'll go next week. I originally planned out to do one for every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But that was assuming I started the podcast about 2 weeks ago. So maybe we can go to every week. So we'll probably be back next week with the AGM recap, maybe the week after. But otherwise, just remember those dates again, boys. 21st of August. And the 3rd of September. Don't want to get
see you
double booked
there.
on that.
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Hey, did you have fun in your first LOC report?
I mean,
it's
it's great. It's good to be back.
Absolutely. It feels great to be back. It feels great to be talking about fantasy, getting back into it. Can't wait for September. It's only 3 months.
How many mock drafts have you done now?
No, it is, isn't it? Christ, it's July.
Yeah, we've started later than usual, so...
Oh, no.
Fantasy is already here.
You ready, man?
I'm there, man. That's it, I can't believe it.
No scouting trip to open.
Yeah.
I won't be. I see, but Michael Crabtree came off there, didn't it? You tell me, is
it? It did, yeah. Yeah, that's why I got him.
They said Michael Crabtree could catch better than Cooper, and he scored 146, 140.
I think he got more than Cooper.
He did. He did.
Cheers, man.
The people of Oakland know what they're talking about.
I like that tip by Chris. Doesn't use it himself. Just gives it to me.
I didn't. That's it. I thought I'd give ones for free because that's I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm going
that confident.
I know. I'm going to France this year. They know nothing about anything. Like Ben.
True.
And that's where we'll leave it. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.